So, today, or rather this week, I've been playing with the laser cutter engraver, and thought I'd show it you doing its thing right now. I'll just zoom in. I'll let it engrave its thing, and I'll speed it up and then show this bit to you end, and then we'll talk more about it. Nice. Right, let's zoom out a little bit. Zoom out, and I'll retrieve the artwork. So hopefully you can see this is pretty much art. I definitely didn't draw that. That's my very good friend who drew that as one of our nice logos for the channel for our merchandise. So these are just scrap bits of plywood that I've been playing with, 5mm ply. So I've been cutting out shapes. I've been lasering holes and things. I'll show you doing some of this in a minute, but I've been lasering holes. There's a square hole. That's just a backing plate, and there's the 3 holes for my holes. So, like 5mm ply was not a problem for this. It lasered right through it. I'll show you doing some cutting. Here's some test settings. I found a guy that was shared files so you can do test cuts. So that's like 3000 millimeters a minute, and that's 1000 millimeters a minute at 100% power, and that's cut halfway through it. And so mostly, like all CNC based machine things, there's a lot of trial and error and dialing stuff in. There's a big hole I've cut. Yeah, and there's some more art. I did art. I did the channel logo on a bit of aluminium plate that's painted the aluminium plate with spray paint, and then had the laser burn off the paint, so it's left with I suppose it's the negative of the image of the channel logo. That's that. What else I did? I've had a bit more scrappy stuff. There's kind of a badly etched, not etched, well, it's carved picture of my niece. She looks very unhappy. Her name's Ava, by the way. There's another test power board. That one's varying power and speed from, well, that's all the way to 1000 to 10,000. I stopped it because it was the 20,000s were too fast for the power settings I had chosen. Oh, I even made some stencil of the channel logo in a bit of cardboard. It's cut it all the way through. Very nice, sharp stencil. I mean, if I was going to like tag spray painty things, you could do a nice stencil and then spray through it. And I've just been working with bits of scrap wood just now because it's all trial and error and practice. Because my plan for this laser thing is to show it to you, it working, and then I'm going to work out the best settings for carving things for my friend, and then give it to my friend and let them make art with it. So, Charles, George, you want to see it cut something? Because cutting's always a good thing. So I've basically just been taking scraps of wood out of the workshop and, well, cutting them. Just move you out of the way just now. Sit you there. I'll sit another bit on top. It's not. I'm going to sit a bit on top of it. Just give me a bit. That'll good enough. I'm basically just using the other plate in the back as a backing plate so I don't cut all the way through and into the stainless top of my table. It's not going to cut the stainless top, but it makes a mess. I think it's the actual sap in the wood that kind of leaves like a residue. What I'm doing now is just making it vaguely in the right place. So at the moment, over here on the laptop, I have the Lightburn software. It's a paid app. I've just got the 30-day free trial. Let me draw not a picture. So that was the artwork that I had doing things. Let's just make a shape. Here is an octagon thing. What size we make it? Like 30 by 30? That seem reasonable? 30 by 36. So there's that shape, and even get all of the laser into things. So I'm going to press the frame button on the software. You press frame, and it shows you where it's going to cut it. All right. And then let me just zoom in on some of these settings here so they kind of make sense. Right, that's just machine code. Cuts and layers. We're going to do a line cut, and I need 100. Wait, let's drag this where you can see it. Maximum power, speed. I worked out 150 is probably the best speed for cutting. I think I might have managed 175, but 150 gave me an absolute guaranteed cut. And then once you've set that, I'll just pull it back out and pull it down to the laser. Put the laser there, and then you press. I'm just going to frame it again to make sure I've still got the right shape. It's in the right place, and press start. And away it goes, and I'll speed it up for you so you don't have to watch. Don't know if you can see the smoke in the video, but obviously there's smoke because it's cutting wood at the moment. I would have an extractor fan on. I should have the extractor fan on, but it makes too much noise in the video. But actually, we might just leave this running as real time because it's not a very long shape, a long time to cut this because it's 5mm ply. So that was 5mm ply, and it should just pop out. It's a tight cut. Go on, get out. There. 5mm ply hole. I'll be. Right, how many sides is that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 hexagon. It's a hexagon. It's nearly a hexagon because I don't think I got the size quite right, but I probably could have gone a little bit more power and got it to cut cleanly. But hey, it's totally cutting. Although cutting's not what we've chosen it for. We have chosen it for its engraving and the ability to print photos and things. Oh, let's just use this as another scrap piece. So that was the Lightburn software, which is a paid-for application. It works with any laser engraver. It just outputs the serial data via USB. Now what this unit is, you see there's a Wi-Fi, well, you can't see there's a Wi-Fi aerial. There is a Wi-Fi aerial here. Hold on, I will lock out my camera and show you. For the beauty of this machine is its ability, can I have a fingerprint please, thank you, is to use its own app. And it is stupendously simple to take an image. Do I want a nice image or do I want where's my downloads? Let's just do my logo again. Where's my logo? Honest? Right, so there's my logo. We don't need to do anything to it. Hit next. And I'm going to have to make it small. Width is probably a lot nearer 10. Hey, you know what, David? Why don't you rotate your bit of wood like a... Wow, science! Jesus. Wept. What size is that? Let's just call it 100. So we'll go this size up. Width. 100. Okay. Do you want any adjustments done? Bit of contrast? Bit more contrast? Less contrast? Oh no, we've made it worse. Let's just leave that alone. We've made it much, much worse. And we are going to be doing... What kind of material is this? Basewood? Scanning basewood. Let's just go for scanning basewood. Yeah, I might... No, we'll just go with that. We'll let it go with that. I'm going to start from... I have focused the laser. So you focus the laser by moving the laser head up and down, and they give you a tab. That's I'm not sure how thick it is. I keep meaning to measure it, but you basically put that in between your material and your laser, and that sets your laser height perfectly off of the surface of what you're doing. And my phone's locked itself. I have checked the focus. I'm going to start from where I've positioned the laser, and I'm just going to use the preview to mark out. Right, so I've already seen I've gone way off the top, but I can bring it down a little bit by just doing a little bit. Let me just check again. That's pretty close. I'm just going to go with that. I mean, it's only a test piece, so we're good for that. It's just a test. And press start. It does all the coding stuff in your phone and then sends it via the wireless to the actual unit. Doing the thing, send it, and then press run. Yes, using a laser is dangerous. And there it goes in the background. It is doing the thing, and all from your phone with like you don't need a computer. So this is an Android phone, but it works on Androids, iPads, iPhones, basically anything that you've got access to an app store and you can use apps. So we'll let that finish. I'll tell you a few things while it's doing the background. So levelness is very important. Mine isn't, obviously, because this is basically a welding table. So ideally you need your work to be level. Mine's not level in any way, shape or form. So some bits are going to be darker and lighter because they're nearer or further away the laser. It is what it is. It's obviously at some point it's going to be set up not here, somewhere flat. So that's it, finished its engrave. The app said it took 12 minutes. And yeah, it's trial and error. You just have to adjust the speed and settings of your machine to your material that you're working in. That's why I've got a big pile of bits of wood that have got lots of holes and lots of cuts and engraves on them, because you just have to test and try and thing. Although the app does have lots of pre-made, preset parameters, like white cardboard, grey cardboard, pine wood, cork, stainless steel, plated metal. Plated metal is the setting I used when I did the bit of aluminium that I painted. I just painted it, set it to plated aluminium, and it took the layer of paint off and left the aluminium underneath. Yeah, so it's got a few settings for different materials and they work. And if you find they don't work, you can just tweak the settings slightly and it saves it, and then you've got the setting for later on forevermore. So from the app, basically you can add artwork or text or barcodes. I don't know why barcodes? I don't know. Anyway, you can put barcodes on things, text and pictures, and it's really easy to use. I mean, if you don't have a laptop and you've got an Android, an iPad, an iPhone, well, the app's here. It connects wirelessly to it, and it would let you get started at engraving. And then later on, if you decided you needed to go more powerful, you could then get a laptop and the software. There's free software, the GRBL Lite something or other. Right, I do have it. It's just not my favourite choice at the moment. What's it called? Laser GRBL. Yeah, so that works as well, and it's free. Not as powerful as Lightburn, obviously, because it's free. Right, what have I got now? So I have bought on eBay the cheapest cutting boards, chopping boards I could find. That gives me 4 sides to practice with. I probably should do a test cut, like a power cut on them, wherever my power cut bit went. But I'm going to just bang this in and let it have a go at a logo, and we will see how it turns out. So these are flat, you'll have noticed, and there's not a lot of space in your laser cutter if you wanted to cut thick things. So they do sell legs that go on this to raise it up. You can make it, I don't know, I think the legs are adjustable, so you can adjust the height. That would be handy. But what I've seen people is just use wooden blocks in the corners, and that raises the height of your printer up to whatever height you want to get your object underneath. The other thing they sell is a bit that replaces like the back of this, because at the moment you have to undo a thumb screw and move it up and down manually and set your depth thing in there so you get the laser in focus, and then retwiddle the thumb screw. And it's not the nicest user experience, but they sell a bit that replaces that, which just gives you a big thumb screw that you can accurately and more gradually move up and down, rather than this kind of jerky. Well, it's basically what is it? It's a dovetail joint on the back of this thing. It's not the nicest. Granted, it holds it tightly in place, but it's not nice to move up and down. But they sell the module that makes it go up and down. They should have just included the module that does that in the first place and make the user experience even nicer. Please, Ortur, if you're watching and listening, just start including the adjuster up and down with all of them, please. It'll make everyone so much happier that it's so much easier on your laser to adjust the thing up and down. That would be the one thing I'd add. Add the adjuster into your package. Right, so what I'm going to do now, well, I'll just let you follow along, is take the these are really well wrapped. Come on, they're not really well made. These are nasty. I mean, that one's okay. That one's, look at the screw head in that one. And then that one, someone just had a go and just fired it at any angle whatsoever. So we will unwrap these. Oh, I'm making a mess now. Oh, good, it's not a sticker. Hands up. Who's had chopping boards where this has been a sticker and someone has stuck it on the chopping board, and then basically you spend the rest of time trying to get the sticker off your chopping board, and you give up, and then you just throw the whole thing in the trash because it wouldn't actually come off. So we have chopping board. I'm going to move this laser out of the way just now. It's vaguely I'm kind of equidistant from the sides. It doesn't look equidistant from here. Something like that. That's like 135 and 135. That's close enough. Close enough. We'll bring the laser module up a bit. We'll pull it all the way down. Not pulling it quickly because there's a sign there that says do not, well, it's strictly forbidden to drag the X and Y axis quickly. That sounds very authoritarian. Right, I'm going to put that there. Get my height adjustment doodad. Pop him in there. Slide that down till it's just touching. Can't confirm. It's just touching, except my chopping board's got a weeble wobble. Well, that's going to make things interesting. So we'll just move it up a little bit. Right, so about there, I think. Now we'll have Lightburn off the frame. Is that going off on that right hand side? Maybe a little bit. Yes, it has. So we'll just nudge you over there a touch. Frame that again. Looking good. Alright. And then we'll just let it have at it. Alright, go! Oh, actually, I'm going to put the console on so I can see it watching it do things. And begin. I won't force you to watch this whole thing. I'll record it, but I'll speed it up and I'll just show you the finished product. And look at that, we've done an art. Da, 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 da. Very nice. It looks a bit strange where obviously the bamboo, this board's made up of different colours of bamboo and it engraves slightly differently in different colours. Might have gone a bit darker, although it's cut quite deep in that bit and not so deep in that bit, but again that's probably because my setup's not actually level. But we've done an art. We are sadly not the artist, we are simply the monkey behind the keyboard. So that's the plan, is we've done a test now. We roughly know how to work it and what settings to give it, so we can now give the whole thing to my friend and let them do the art, and we'll just be the programmer of the machines and the worker out of things. My final thoughts on the Ortur Laser Master 3? Well, seeing as it's the first laser engraver cutter thing I've ever used, it was easy to build. Well, fairly easy to build. A couple of screws, nuts, bolts, some fiddly, teeny tiny screws and things, and a bit of fiddling with belts. But other than that, I think it's probably within the skill level of most competent adults. The software, software, we'll call it the app for your phone, it's basic, but it works. It lets you carve things without actually having a computer or needing to have any knowledge of, well, programming, or not programming, but CNC, or then again, Lightburn does the same, but it's definitely, the app's easy. Just drag your picture in, make it the right size, tell it what you're printing on, press start, and away you go. One thing I would like to suggest to Ortur is like when I bought my 3D printer. It's a Prusa, and they give you the option that it can come in a box, unassembled, or you can give them more money and they will build and test the entire thing and then put that in a box and send it to you. So when it arrives, all you do is open the box and plug it in, and it's ready to print. So if Ortur were to do the same thing, where someone in the factory would build your whole laser, test it, and then put it in a box and ship it for more money, I would probably have option B of give them money and have the laser built and tested and ready to run. You just have to plug it in, put your artwork on, and away she goes. That would be my thing. As always, any comments, questions, leave them in the comments down below, and I'll try my very best to answer them, or at least find out and speak to someone who can possibly answer them for you. And as always, thanks for watching.
Thank you.